Okay, guys. So we were discussing with regarding your for loops. So I told you three types of for loops, right? So in that we have already seen our simple for loop. So simple for loop we have already completed. So now we are going to see the other two variation. Second variation is your for loop with the range function. So we have already discussed about the range. So what is the range function, how to give the values. So those things we have already discussed. So we will see how to make use of this range function along with the for loop. Okay, and the third variation what we are going to be seeing, for loop with enumerate. So I have another predefined function which is called as enumerate. So I can make use of that function also with my for loop. These are the two variations what we are going to be seeing in today's session. First, okay. So syntax for your for loop with the range function. What is the syntax? How to write it? So for some variable name in range. In range of. Okay. So inside the range function. So remember we have already discussed the range function. Your range function takes three parameters. You have three values you can give inside the range. What are those? Start, end, and the step value. So these are the three values that you will give within the range function. Then followed by the colon. Then you have your indentation. Then we are going to write the statements. So statements which will get executed when this loop is true. As long as the condition within this loop is true, the statement what you are giving here will keep on getting executed again and again. Okay, say for example, let us keep this syntax in mind and let us write some examples. So first I am saying for x in range of. Okay, for x in range of, I am saying starting value is 1, ending value is 11, and the step value is 1. Okay, so start, end, step. So starting value 1, ending value 11 I have given. So always remember what we said, end is always taken as end minus 1. So end is exclusive. So end is always treated as end minus 1. So this loop will run from 1 till 10. From 1 till 10. So inside the loop, what is that I am giving? I am saying print. So I am saying print, then I am saying x. Okay, first print the x value. So let us go for a formatted string. Okay, so here I'm saying first print the x value. Okay, then I'm printing one. I'm printing one multiplication symbol. I'm just printing one x multiplication symbol. Then I'm going to print the. Okay, then let us take one number here. Okay, let us just take one number here. So I'm giving the number as 5. So here it is going to be the n value is equal to, here I am going to say x into n. So when you run this program, see how my output is going to be done for me. First look how my output is going to be done for me. So first condition, the loop will start executing. First time the loop will start executing. So what will be the value of x? From here, what is the starting number? 1. So x will be having the value as 1. So x will be having the value as 1. So because the start value I have given as 1, so that value will go and get stored inside the x variable. So then it will come inside. This 1 is less than 10. Less than 10. So condition is true. So it will come inside and it is going to print the value. How it is going to print? First the x value 1. Then it will print the x, that is the multiplication symbol. Then whatever is the value stored inside n, that value is going to get printed. So what is the n? I have given here n is 5. So 5. Then it is going to print equals to. Then what it is going to print? I am saying x into n. So x value is 1. So 1 into 5 is going to give you the value as. It is going to give you the value as 5. This is the first loop. This is the first execution of the loop. After doing this, what will happen? It will go here to my range function again. What is my step value? 1. So what is the purpose of the step value? I told you, whatever is the current value plus the step value will give me the next value. So current value is 1. So 1 plus my step value. So what it is? So the next value is going to be 2. So that 2 is going to get assigned to my x variable. So again it is going to come inside. Right. This time what is the x value? 2. So 2, then it will print in. Then n value is same. N value is never going to change. So then equals to now 2 into 5. So it is going to give you the value as 10. Then again, next time it will go to the step value again. So step value is again incremented by 1. So current value plus step value. So what is going to be the new value? 3. So that value will now get assigned to the x variable. So like this, the loop will keep on running again and again until it reaches 10. Okay, so once it reaches 10, so it is going to say 10 into 5 equals to 50. So once this statement is printed, again it is going to go to the step value. Step value is 1 now again. So 10 plus 1, it will become 11. Now when it comes to the condition, I have said only till 10. So 11 is going beyond the range. It's going greater than the range. So the loop will stop its execution. So what is the loop going to do? It is going to stop its execution. So when you run this program, see, this is how you will be getting your outputs. So simple example for a range function, for a for loop with the range function. So remember, the range function is going to generate numbers from 1 to 10. So each and every time one number will be passed on to my x variable. Then inside of the for loop, whatever you want to repeat, whatever statement you want to repeat, that statement you will give inside. Say for example, say let us take another example here. So let us first print an empty print statement. So you know the empty print statement is going to just give a space in between. An empty line will be printed. Now I am saying for, okay, for I in range of 1 to 6. So that means 5 times 1 to 5. So I am giving the step value again as 1. So then I am saying French, welcome to Python. So what is this loop going to do? Every time one value, this range function will generate the number from 1 to 5. So each and every time the loop is running, one value, starting from the first value till the last value, one value will be coming inside this I variable. So then it will come inside the loop, and whatever you are asking it to do, that statement is going to get repeated until this condition is satisfied. So when you run this program, so the first loop is going to print as a multiplication table. The second loop, what it is doing? It is printing welcome to Python how many times? 5 times. Because the range function is 1 to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once it reaches 5, the loop will stop. Because the ending value what I have given is. So this is how I will be making use of the for loop with the range function, with the help of the range function. Okay, now let us do one more small example. Let us say I'm creating a string. I'm creating a string. Okay, this string says I'm just taking my name. Okay, now I want to print every single character inside the string. I want to print each and every character inside the string. Okay, along with its ASCII value. Along with its ASCII value. You remember the function what we are going to use for it? ORD. You remember this function? ORD function is a function which will return the ASCII value of a character. So whatever character you are going to pass inside this function, it will return the ASCII value of that character. So that is what I am going to do with this particular program. So see what I am doing. I am saying for, Okay, say some variable name. So let us take the variable name as a. For a in range of. So remember always what is going to be the starting value, starting index position. You know that string is stored based on indexes. So the starting index position is going to be 0. So I have to start from the 0th index position. So I am giving here as 0. Then what is going to be the ending? I don't know. How much ever bigger the string is, it has to go till that end. So what is the ending value I am going to give? Len of s. So till the length of s, whatever is the length, till there, keep running this loop. Then my step value, I am saying it as 1. Right. Now go for my program. So I am saying print s of a, because a is the one which is going to have the index value. Because what is the range function going to say? 0, 1, 2, like that. It is going to give me the index value. So that index value is going to get stored inside my a variable. So when you say s of a, what do you mean by that? You are getting the value stored at that index position. So I am going to say here s of a, or let us say like this. Okay, we'll put it ASCII value of s of a is ORD of s of a. Finish the function, close it, close my double quotes. I hope my syntax is right. 1 second. Opening, closing, square bracket says, square bracket closing, and then the ORD function closing, and then the closing of my yes. So let us take these two. Let us take these two. Right, I'm just going to add it here. So these two examples, I'll just keep it here. So now going back to this program, let us run. Let us run the program. See what am I getting? Okay. So let us understand how this is happening. So first let us understand the range function. I am saying 0 len of s. So start is going to be 0. Okay. What is the ending value going to be? Length of this string. So what is the length of the string? Let us try to print that also. So I am saying print. Okay. Len of s. So just to get to know that I am printing this length. So what is the length? 7. So the ending value is going to be 7. So remember, start is 0. Ending, I am saying len of s. What is len of s? Len of s is nothing but 7. And what is the step value I am giving? Step value I am giving as 1. So what is this range function going to produce? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It will go only till 6 because the ending value is 7. It will always stop end minus 1. So these are the numbers that my range function will generate. Now what are all these numbers? All these numbers are nothing but the index position of the string. So when you are going to store the string, how is it going to get stored? Based on the index. So how is my index going to be there? There you go. How is the positive indexes? 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, 4, 5, and 6. That numbers, these index numbers are what is going to get generated by this range function. So the range function is going to generate all this. So now each and every time this for loop is going to run. Remember 1 value. So the range function will generate all this value. 1 value will be given to the a variable. So first time the loop is running, 0, 0 will be given to the a. So 0 value will be given to my a. So come inside the loop. So come inside the loop. So what it is going to say? ASCII value of. So first it is going to say ASCII value of 10. in the place, you remember what is this curly braces? It is just going to print the variable's value. Whatever value is given by this s of a, that is going to get printed. So I am saying value of s of a means what? S of 0, because a value is 0. So it is going to give me this capital A. Okay, so it is going to print me. So ASCII value of A is then ORD function. So ORD of A. What is the ASCII ORD of A? ASCII value of A is 65. Then next time when the loop goes, it is going to go for the second value. So then it is going to come. So S of A now means S of 1. So what is S of 1? N. So ASCII value of N is, it will give you that number. So like this, from the starting of the loop till the ending of the loop, each and every time it will take one number from the range function and it will automatically. So this is how I will be making use of the for loop with the range function. Okay, let us take another example. This time I'm going to take a list. So I am saying L is equal to. So I'm taking a list. You know how to create a list. So within the square brackets has a comma separated values. So I'm saying 10, comma, I'm saying Java, right? Then, comma, I'm saying 52.25, right? Then I'm saying true. Then the next value I'm giving 10 plus 9j. So see, these are the values that I am storing inside the list. So all these are the values of my list. So again, list is also index based. We remember that list is also index based. So how is the list going to get stored? These are the values means first value index position 0, second value index position 1, right? The third value index position 2, then index position 3, then I have index position 4. So like this only, my list is also going to get stored. Just like my string, it is also index based. Now I want to print. So when I print fully, when I say print L, how is it going to give me? It is going to give me the entire list. Like this, it is going to give me the entire list. I don't want like this. I want each and every value printed separately. So again, I am going to make use of the loop for that. So what is that I have to do? I have to make use of the loop. So how to write the condition for that? So how am I going to write the condition? Just have a look here. Okay, so going back to my program. So I'm just going to say for x in range of. So again, index value always starts with 0. So that is what I'm going to give here, comma. I'm going to say len of. I already told you the len function is common function. I can use it on my list. I can use it on my string. I can use it on my tuples, my dictionaries, my sets. So any collection, I can make use of the len function. So here I am saying len of L. Okay, then comma. Step value is going to be 1. Step value is going to be 1. Okay, then what am I doing? Inside this, I am saying colon. So then I am saying print. Okay, L, which is the name of my list. Okay, L of, within the square brackets, I have to mention the index value. So now which variable is going to have my index? X. So I'm going to say L of X. Now when I run this program, see what happens. Sorry, I have given it in capital letters, so it will not work. Just throw me an error. See, it's not recognizing. See, so individually, each and every element index value it is taking, it is printing separately. Let us say, suppose I want only the even index positions. So what are the even index position here? 0, 2, 4. I want only these three even index positions to be printed. You remember what we did with the range function? Everything is possible. So I'm saying 0, go till the length of the list. What is the step value? I am saying the step value as 2. Now you run it. See what happens. First, it will go to 0 index. From there, step is 2. So jump 2 steps. Then it will go to index position 2. From 2, jumps 2 steps. Again, it will go to index position 4. This is how my values will get printed. Again, you want all the odd index position, what do you have to do? Start from index position 1. So you will get 1 and then 3. Because those are the only two odd index positions you have. So only those two values, see, will get printed. This is how I will be making use of the range function. So simple range function, how to do it? So range function, simply how to do that? So for printing my numbers, for printing from string values, okay, for using it on a string variable, then using it on a list variable. So this is how I will be making use of my range function, for loop with the range function. So just remember, when you have to go for a simple for loop is a value based loop. Simple for loop is a value based loop. Now your for loop with the range function is an index based loop. Say, let us say for this, if I want to run this using simple for loop, how will I say? For I in L. That is my syntax. I will say simply print I. That's it. I will only say print I. So let me have a print statement here to separate these two values. But here with the range function, how we are giving? The syntax itself is entirely different. The syntax itself is entirely different, and also see how we are giving here. This is value based. So no starting, no ending, nothing. Automatically, it will take the first value, store it inside I. Here I am directly printing I. What is I? I is nothing but this value. But here see how I am printing. I am saying L of x. L of x. X is giving me only the index position value. If I want to print the value stored at that index, I have to say L of x. See the difference. I'll show you. I'm saying x, comma, L of x. Run this. See how you'll get. For the simple for loop, directly I'm getting the values. For this range function, see what is the x value getting printed? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. What are these 0, 1, 2, 3, 4? All are my index positions. So then when I say L of x, then only it is giving me the value stored at that index positions. So remember this very, very carefully. So simple for loop is a value based loop. Your for loop with the range function is actually index based formats. Right. So these are the important things that you should be knowing with regards to these two. Right. Now the next format of your for loop. I told you in for loop we have three formats. The next format of the for loop is a for loop using the enumerate function. So what is the syntax for that? What is the syntax for the enumerate function? Same as that of my range function. Small differences. Okay. So let us see this syntax. This is the syntax for the for loop with range. Okay, now we'll go for the syntax of the for loop with the enumerate function. So what is it? I have to say for same way some variable name in enumerate of name of the sequence. Name of the sequence colon then the statement. Whichever statement I want to repeat, I will write that statements here. No semicolon not needed. So I will be writing that statement here. So this is the syntax of my for loop with the enumerate function. So now understand what is the difference between the enumerate and the range function. So enumerate function will automatically print the index position and the value stored at index position. Say for example, let me show you what I am coming to tell. So I am saying for, okay, y, name of my variable, in enumerate, within the parenthesis, what you have to do? You have to print the name of the sequence. Here, what is my sequence? L. L is the list. I want to print this. So inside, I will give the value as L. I will just simply give the value as L. So now, give the colon. You just say print y. Print y. So let us give here also a empty statement, empty blank line. Now let us try to print this. Let us run this program. See, how is my enumerate function printing the values? Index position and the value stored at index position. So I don't have to specify anything. I will simply say inside the enumerate function, I will pass the name of the sequence. That is name of my strings, name of my list, name of my set. So whatever is the variable that is holding the value, I will just mention the name of that variable. So automatically, what is the enumerate function will do? It will start from the zero index position. It will always start from the starting. It will go till the ending. One by one, it will fetch the values. Along with the index positions, it will print the value. So in 0, this is the value. In index position 1, this is the value. In index position 2, this is the value. So like that, it is going to print the values automatically. So every time inside the y variable, this entire value will be stored. So it will take the index also, it will take the value also. Store it in y. So I'm just printing the y value directly. But here in the range function, see what you are doing. You are only printing the index also. You are only printing the value stored at that index also. So both the works I am only doing. But here the enumerate function, it will do the things automatically. So these are the different variations of my for loop. So the same thing, okay, the same list, I am printing the entire list like this. Then using the simple for loop I am printing. Using the range function I am printing. Using the enumerate function I am printing the list. Same concept is applicable for my strings or my tuples. So this is how I will be making use of my for loop. Right. So let me add this example also. There you go. I'll just add it to the list of all the examples. Yes. Okay. So now you know how to run my while loop. You know completely everything regarding the for loop. So what I am going to do, I'm going to focus little bit more on programs.